All right, so that would be a over 11,000% gain. Now people are probably thinking, oh, okay, that's crazy. That's ludicrous. That number is way too high. Now, I know it sounds absolutely ludicrous, but we go back and we look at this market and say, well, have we seen percentage increases of that magnitude before? Well, right there is 4,300. Right there is 4,000. And if we go from there to there, that's 30,000. And that's 30,000 in less than a year. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is the Blockchain Backer bringing you the latest cryptocurrency news and analysis. And today we're going to be taking a look at the altcoin market cap chart. So I've got the altcoin price chart or the altcoin total market cap chart right here in front of me. Now, I have not forgotten about Bitcoin. I've got it right here. We'll take a visit of this chart pretty soon, but the primary focus of this video is really going to be on the altcoin market cap chart. Something I wanted to do in here is I wanted to see, where is the top going to be on this thing, and can we actually pinpoint a location of where it could potentially happen, with time? Do we have any type of catalyst in this market? Do we have any type of time structures that would pinpoint where this could actually happen? Now, as you know, I don't actually predict time very often, but we're going to take a look at it and see if we can kind of get an idea of it, because hey, we've been grinding out this bear market for so long. We need to kind of have a little bit of just some type of motivation to help keep us going, right? Like right now, I know everything is fine. It's great. I know it's wonderful, but I know that a lot of people are just kind of like, why won't it go? Especially with today and the last couple of days, we've had just a slight little bit of a pullback, and a lot of hope was being pumped into this market that we were going to get going. But I wanted to show you that all is still perfectly well. I totally believe that the bottom of the altcoin market is in, and it was put in right there. That's it. The bottom is in my opinion. And now we need to figure out, well, how high are we going to go and when are we going to get there? So let's take a look. Now, here's the awesome thing about the topping of the 2017 bull market is that it just like printed out this like incredibly clean head and shoulders right there. Look at this. So you've got your shoulder number one, your head, shoulder number two. It even bounced one time off the neckline, and then it went through and broke it down. So we have a nice head and shoulder. So here you've got, let's see, you got shoulder number one, shoulder number two, and then your head right here. Now, head and shoulders is like the very first pattern that any trader learns, or anybody learning how to read a chart. It's the most common one people learn, but it's very obvious we do actually have a real head and shoulders here on the very top of this market. Now, what typically happens when you have a head and shoulders is that you'll actually come back and test the neckline breakdown of it. And in a bull market with a next cycle, when you have one this big, the top of the next market will typically be on the neckline of that breakdown, which would mean that we would come up here, and that would make the next topping of the market. So what we're going to try to do is we're going to try to figure out where is that point on this line. Now we've got certain targets that we've talked about. We've talked about making it like this if it was a 4.236 extension. Well, if that was the case, then time has already passed for that. So the only other option we have would be to make it for this extension. Just we've talked about it many times that we line up the 0.236 at the top of the market, the zero at the bottom of the trough of the bear market, and we have our extension all the way out to 4.236. Now, let me show you the percentages on that. All right, so that would be a over 11,000% gain. Now, people are probably thinking, oh, okay, that's crazy. That's ludicrous. That number is way too high. Now, I know it sounds absolutely ludicrous, but we go back and we look at this market and say, well, have we seen percentage increases of that magnitude before? Well, right there is 4,300. Right there is 4,000. And if we go from there to there, that's 30,000. And that's 30,000 in less than a year. So to say that we're going for 11,000 when we've seen 4,000, 4,000, or 31,000 in under a year, it's not all that ludicrous. I know it sounds absolutely crazy because if you run the numbers on what your investment is right now, multiply that times 118, that's what that number would be. But yeah, I mean, that's really what I am forecasting. Now, I don't know if it's really going to do it and come up and hit it on this neckline and do it right here in June or the summer of this year. But I've seen things like this play out before, so we might as well just talk about it. I do expect the next topping of the next bull market to absolutely be right here. Whether or not it's going to occur right here at this exact moment in June of this summer, it's unknown. But I wanted to show you this scenario that I'm watching, and hey, it's totally possible. So here's the big question. Do we have any kind of catalyst or any type of event that it could occur that would get so much interest in cryptocurrencies and draw people in to buy with FOMO style buying? Is there anything that could possibly happen this summer that could cause that to happen? Yes. Yes, there is. There is the Bitcoin block halving in 108 days. On May 12th, the block reward will be cut in half. So instead of on a daily time frame of having a total of 1,800 Bitcoins produced per day, we'll go down to only 900 per day, which produces scarcity, right? It creates it so that fewer can be sold on the market daily by the miners. So let's take a look at the Bitcoin chart too. We'll line up the Fibonacci retracement and the Fibonacci extensions just like we did on the altcoin chart. Now, people may be saying, well, why would you ever line it up like this? This is crazy to put this 0.236 here, the 0 here, and forecast it to go way out there. Well, it's because we see this in other markets too. It is not just me making these numbers up. This is how it actually reaches out and hits its tops. See that right here. Look at this. On the last bull market to the bottom of the last bear market, we reached out, and that's how we reached our top on this bull market. We've seen this in stocks as well. We've seen this in XRP. We've seen this on other charts. So it is not ludicrous to make up a forecast with this type of an extension. So let's go back. Let's do it again. And let's peek back over here, and we see that we have the bottom of the first shoulder right here in July and the start of the next shoulder right here in April. So we'll do that same thing on Bitcoin. Bottom of the first shoulder here in July to the bottom of the next one here in April, and we'll forecast out like this, and that gets us there in June. Now, I get it. It's not as clean on the Bitcoin chart as it is on the altcoin market cap chart. You really kind of have to mess with it a little bit, right? But when we go back and we look at this altcoin chart and we see that if this scenario played out and it went up on June 8th, it reaches its top. Well, that's only 2 weeks after the Bitcoin block halving. Is it ludicrous to think that there would be some type of massive surge in this market around the timing of the Bitcoin block halving? If anything, I think that's the most likely time anything would happen in this market outside of utility, right? You need to get a lot of FOMO, you need to get a lot of media coverage, you need to draw in a lot of interest into this market. And the Bitcoin block halving will do that. Now, of course, I can't guarantee it that it'll happen at this time, and I really don't know. But I do know that a lot of people have their sentiment shift daily based off any type of price movement. And we have to remember there's a big event that's coming up soon. It's only a little bit over 3 months away, 4 months away. And that there are things on this chart that line up that would say, hey, right around that Bitcoin block halving is when we might expect a topping in the altcoin market or the Bitcoin market. I would expect Bitcoin to go on a huge surge to either 80,000 or, in the case that I just showed you, all the way up to 300,000. The altcoin market would get a 118 times surge. Now, if we had never seen any type of move like that before of 11,800%, even I would say, come on, blockchain backer, you're being crazy. Don't make this hopium. Don't make this craziness. This is ludicrous. But the reality is we've seen these types of percentage moves multiple times. We've seen moves that are bigger than this. We've seen moves 3 times bigger than this. So I just want to remind you, if you get concerned about the daily price fluctuations, what we're really here for is not for 10 cents, 20 cents in XRP or 30-cent moves. We're looking for the big market cycle. And just know, I think we're on the brink of it. Now, I'm not a financial advisor and I can't provide you any type of investment advice. You've got to do what you've got to do. But I'm letting you know that I have absolutely no concerns and I'm really excited. And I think that we're on the brink of things going. It could just consolidate for a little while longer, but everything is pointing to we've got something big coming. And with the Bitcoin block having only 3.5 months away, you shouldn't be getting worried about anything right now. So I thought everybody could just use a little bit of a reminder that everything is great, everything is fine. I can really kind of gauge the sentiment of people based on, what the comment section of my videos look like. Last week was probably one of the better weeks I've ever had in regards to, just positive comments and people being happy. And then this week has been a polar opposite. It's probably been the worst week that I've ever seen in regards to sentiment in the comments section. It's just negative, negative, negative. Now, of course, there's always the people that are really positive, but I can really kind of gauge how people are feeling just by looking in there. If I'm getting attacked like crazy, then hey, I know that, oh, well, okay, people might not be in the best mindset right now. Or if, everything's positive, then it's like, hey, great, cool, we're doing fine. But this week's been really rough, so I thought maybe, hey, we could use a little bit of a positive reinforcement that, hey, these charts look good. Not only is everything good in the market and we have a big catalyst event coming, but the charts look good too. So I hope that you guys are having a wonderful week. It is Friday. Yes. You can follow me over here on Twitter if you don't already do so at BCBacker. So if you don't subscribe to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button to get notified of when I go live. And you know what? I've never said this before, but I guess I'm supposed to, is that if you are subscribed to my channel, and if you are going to subscribe to my channel, there is a little bell right here next to subscribed. And if you hit that and click on all, then you'll get notified when I go live and when I post new videos. So please hit that button so you can be notified. And I want to thank you all so much for watching. I hope that you're having a wonderful week and have a fantastic weekend. Please like this video, give it a thumbs up, and of course, subscribe if you haven't subscribed. As always, this is not investment advice and I am not a financial advisor, but if you ever need a pick me up or a little bit of reassurance, just remember that the blockchain backers got your back. Have a good one.